Hello guys and welcome to our channel. This is Baby Roll. In today's video I want to talk about the updates that came with the past few patches and the changes to Ranger in general, not specific changes to builds, most specific the bits gameplay. So let me start by saying, since the release of End of Dragon there was a bug that all the new bits that came with End of Dragon, like the wallo, the turtle and white tiger and the phoenix, all of them, if the moment you summon them or switch to them from another bit, they do not respond for almost 4 seconds. They will never use any skill. Siege Turtle was the only one capable of using its bubble, actually not even on release, it's more like 2 weeks after. The bubble is instant, so it casts even if the bit do not respond. However, this bug finally got fixed, so right now bits will be completely responsive, all of them. And something came out of it. If we go to Siege Turtle, and if you remember how Siege Turtle used to function, you will remember, or even if you want to watch the old video when I talk about bits and explaining CC combos, you will find that if I do this, I bring Turtle to here, and then I order her to attack something that actually behind her, for example, she will get stuck and not attack at all. So let's say she's attacking that thing, or I call her to me here, and now she giving her back to it, and if I order her to attack, she will completely attack normally. This was not possible before this patch. She would stuck if she had her back to the target and not do anything or response at all. And the only skill you can always use, as we see, is hunker down, because it's an instant cast, it will not affect by anything. Right now Turtle will always respond normally, will always change target, no problem. However, Turtle still have the design problem that comes here, that to this day we do not know whether it is intentional or not, which is basically she will never go to melee to start using snap or slap. If she's already in melee range, she would use them, as you see, but she will never go to melee range to start using them. I immobilize those 2 targets, and then I order my Turtle to attack. She will stay at her place, she will never come and do anything. As you see in melee range, since I brought her to me, once her skill come off cooldown, she can use them completely normal. And she triggered the bleed from snap while I'm not attacking, since it's already in melee range. And if the target is moving, the auto attack go in an arc shaped shot, and it will never hit anything unless it just move very slowly that it can hit it. So auto attack is undependable completely, and you have to micromanage it by calling it to you, using return to me and attack to put her in melee position in order to trigger the other skills. So it's still the same, but at least she never gets stuck, she never acts stupidly or non-responsive. Even the wallo, I made also talk about its skill and how it used to behave very weirdly, and the poison field used to be very far, that some enemies can be even out of it. Right now it's very more dependable, way more dependable, and the distance of the CC, even as you see, work or function exactly the same every time. So it's a good bit or a good option for some builds right now, since it works completely fine. However, be careful with Turtle, because she still can knock your enemies out of its root, obviously because of the melee skill. Some people doesn't know that her skill can knock things out of the root. If you're playing Druid, like for our world versus world build, pay attention to that. Use the CC if you either need it, so it doesn't matter the roots, or after the roots or already disband, or even to use the CC to trigger the roots themselves. So right now they will be at the new location of the enemy once it getting launched or being knocked away. Now let's move to another changes. The white tiger got its skills, the ages access on a half a second cooldown. So the moment I press it, as you see, I get the ages almost immediately. So it flow really nicely if you want to use it for support build like PvE Druid or something like that. But it's not great for DPS in general, because once it uses skill, it will teleport randomly around the target after the cast and then turn to attack the target again, which make it a bit slow. The best bit right now for DPS is Jacaranda, and I've always used it as my main. I never used iboga in PvE in general. So it's probably the best option right now, and it is still a tanky bit, so it's a great option. Which gets us to another point, and it is that iboga got nerfed for its auto attack. Nothing else get nerfed, and that doesn't much affect anything around her in World vs. World. It's only the auto attack, but it shows on its DPS basically. And another changes to the bits, as you see here, the critical chance is near 30%, while I'm not using anything to increase the critical chance to my bits. It used to be much lower, it got increased supposedly by 17.8, and it can be quite different from a bit to bit. As you see, this tiger for example have very high critical chance, and the increase shows a significantly higher number. And if you're running something like Beastmaster trait, if you're focusing more on empowering your bits or bringing a power build, as you see, those numbers can even increase significantly further. And all bits got a really good change to them, which is they have a locked defiance bar, so they cannot be CC'd. They will not affect by blindness, cripple, or daze, or anything that the enemy can do to them. They will always land their skills, they always land their CC in PvE to deliver damage to defiance bar, so they are way more reliable right now. Even to revive you if you go down in PvE, they cannot be CC'd, which is very good change. Just like mechanics basically can be very strong right now, our bits can be a bit better. This changes only to PvE, so it will not work at all in competitive. Obviously you can always CC or kill the bits for higher advantage. And we now have access to the ability to autocast any skills to the bits. Even on Druid itself, for example, you can autocast this skill that you use to be able to control separately. However, as I'm going to show you on the footage, this change to the autocast, the ability to right click the mouse with the control button and to put it or remove it. As you see, it show you in the tooltip, right is the last thing, control plus mouse 2 to disable auto attack or to enable auto attack. You can use that to any skill, and each bit will remember it separately. So let's say I'm using the auto attack for wallo on Druid, for example, and if I go to untamed, it doesn't even have the wallo, but once I put the wallo, you will find the same skill I put to autocast will be autocasted even on untamed. So it's not build dependent, but it is bit dependent, which is up to you how you're gonna manage it. Like, let's say you want to control everything on untamed, so you leave every skill to you, not autocasted, but you want it to be completely autocasted on Druid, for example, for support or whatever. So you ended up, if you change to the same bit in a different build, remember to change it back. However, there is quite the problem with this auto attack system. It came in not the last batch, actually the one before, and the last batch did a change to it that wasn't listed into the batch note or anything, basically a nerf. So it was a very good thing and a buff to the untamed even PvE, because the bits will use their autocast skill completely normally, like normal behavior, and they do not care whether they're unleashed or you are unleashed. The next batch came to nerf that. So right now, as you see, my iboga is fighting this thing, and it doesn't put any confusion or torment in it because she can't use her autocast skills unless I have access to them to press them myself, which then she can use the autocast system to use them instead of me pressing them. The moment I'm unleashed, as you see, she will start cast the auto skills. She will not do that unless I have access to the skill right in front of me. So my ranger is unleashed, not iboga. But if she is attacking again like that, as you see, no matter what I do, she will not cast her auto skills. It did not function like that when this update came to the game. All bits was able to cast their skill normally. So right now it will be having a lot of damage and everything will function fine. And it will function like a normal bit. Right now it still will not cast, it only saved me to actually click them myself. That's the only change that happened. So I don't really like that nerf, and I don't know why it happened or why it was not listed. Was it actually a bug and it was intended to act like that? I don't know. But however, it is better than nothing. It's still an option, especially for the people who don't want to learn it or have this much of skill difference between normal rangers, and it's easy and relaxing style, and then having all those buttons to switch between and cast. They just go to unleash, cast their unleash weapon skills, and the bit will start doing its auto attack, and they never really have to think about it. So it's still a good option. You can have it full control, or you can have it function this way. It's up to you. So remember, to activate it, you need to right click, you need to mouse to or right click whilst control button to enable or disable, and each bit will have their own skill remembered as a history. It's not build dependent, it is bit dependent. Each bit will always remember what skill did you choose to autocast or not autocast. Now let's talk about another change also came to the ranger. For PvE player, all spirits now cannot be CC'd. They have a locked defiance bar exactly like the bits. But the boon is now applied from the spirit itself, not from the ranger. They say it was a bug and it was not intended. As you see, it happened from the spirit itself. And if I move very far, I do not get the boons. So it used to, after the batch that changed the spirit skills, that actually it was happening from the ranger. Now another change that came to PvE besides the spirits, which is glyph of equality. Finally, there is a small advantage and tiny source of stability to Druid that can compare to other classes on support like Firebrand or Elementalist. However, this change did not came to World vs. World. AreaNet said that they will be looking into a competitive option later, but for now it's only for PvE. And it's not on the surface of glyph equality, it only happened in the inside version of the glyph. While you inside says the avatar, it gives 1 stack of stability for 5 seconds. So you can break stun to a group, cleanse 2 condition and give 5 seconds of stability, or you can daze others, your enemies, and stun break for yourself. So it's in PvE, it's barely something. It's not gonna be as reliable like other classes basically, and really we need that to be in World vs. World. I would like it even to have stability in general, but at least even if they give it like that, it's not really a significant buff. It will not affect rumors, not like AreaNet really care about rumors as much, but it will be at least something for Zergs, and it's very weak comparing to what other class can actually do. Like Firebrand, they are very stable, like Scrubbers and Elementalist in Zerg's fight or even small groups. And you still can't interrupt the bits, as you see, but if you spam click it, you can cast a skill before they go to the full cycle of auto. It was even more difficult before the last batch. They have to go like use all of their auto skills basically before they can respond to you. So the only way was to control them is basically use the skill you want immediately after swiping bits, as I explained in the CC combo 1 for my World vs. World build update, or you wait for them to cast all their auto skills before you can use this one. Obviously there was another option which basically calls them to you and then immediately casts a skill, so you press 2 buttons after each other, but that can have a small delay because calls them to you will always allow for interruption, either use an attack or this one. And as you see here, you can interrupt through ordering for attack, just like that. Those 2 skills can still interrupt fine, which is return to me and attack. They considered an orders, not other skills to queue, so they are a bit different. They allow you still to interrupt the enemy, so you can use them to interrupt your bit and then cast other skills. So I can do this for example, and before it casts it I can interrupt it again by return to me. As you see, I prevent it from casting the stun, and I can do it again, I can interrupt it again. So there is few methods to go around this, but require more micromanagement and more skills, but it's at least better now because you can at least spam it and it will not keep repeating other skills before it will listen to you at all. I hope it gets fixed. We don't need that. We need to be able to order our bit to use its skill immediately the moment we need it, but it is what it is, I guess. And there is small changes also. There was a bug since like very old, like 2018, when there is an update to fix the feline bits. in order for them to actually get affected by quickness, and it never really landed in the game, so right now they fixed it. And just like Spectre, Staff for Druid now can target allies as it can target enemies. So you're able to heal and refill this avatar directly through targeting allies, not only through doing damage and healing the allies in the line while doing the damage. That's it for the video. I hope you find it useful. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you next time. Peace.